Most founders start a business to build something great, not to manage paperwork. But as you scale, there's an invisible administrative debt that starts to accumulate over time. Today, we're going to talk about the 4 legal tripwires that catch even the best entrepreneurs off guard, and how to turn compliance from a scary chore into a competitive advantage. I'm Georgette, Chief HR Consultant at Algomas HR, where we partner with emerging businesses to build the culture, growth, and compliance systems that they need to retain their team, streamline operations, and scale efficiently. Welcome to day 3 of the HR Reboot series, where we're giving you some quick wins, tools, and tips to improve your team performance and management as we kick off the new year. To protect your business, we start with a 4-point defense system. Think of this as your perimeter security for the new year. The first thing that's pretty top of mind in many states is pay bands. In 2026, transparency isn't a choice anymore. It's a new legal standard. By establishing clear salary ranges, you aren't just meeting state disclosure laws. You're telling your employees exactly how they can grow with you. If you're a multi-state organization, do not sleep on this requirement. At the time of recording this video, right now, over 15 states have pay transparency laws, and many individual localities as well. So, what does this look like in practice? Well, it can mean publishing your ranges on your job postings externally, so your public postings, internally for visibility within your current employee population, or simply making them available upon request, depending on the state or municipal law that is required. So check your state website or book an advisory session, and we can evaluate this for you against your current pay practices. For number 2, it sounds kind of old school, but federal and state visibility requirements are non-negotiables. What am I talking about? Labor law posters. Whether your team is in an office or remote, they need digital or physical access to their rights. It's the easiest gotcha for an auditor. And usually these are available within your HR systems, or they have a partner who can send out the labor law posters digitally or physically to any locations as well. And number 3, I-9 documentation. This is about standardizing the verification process. So inconsistencies here create massive audit risks. We move this from a guess to a guarantee during the onboarding stage. This process is legally required to be completed within the first 3 days of hire for all new hires. So this doesn't vary by state. This is a federal requirement. As soon as you hire your first W-2 employee, you need to be verifying the correct information through the I-9 process. Depending on your government contracts, you might have to do this for your government contractors as well, but that's a whole other conversation. So we'll include a link to the IRS website in the description where you can see the template and what documents are currently available. Big thing to note here is the use of E-Verify, which is a system businesses are required to register in certain states where work authorization is done online. So for example, in Florida, currently, if you have a certain number of employees, you are required to complete E-Verify. But if you're under that threshold, you're not required to do so. So you complete the online form and essentially submit it to E-Verify, creating a case. Point number 4 in this defense perimeter that we've been talking about is paid leave compliance. This is the big one. Between the Family Medical Leave Act, state-mandated sick leave, and paid family leave options, the web of rules is getting more and more complex. If your employee handbook hasn't been updated in 12 months and you've added new states, your leave policy is likely out of date and in need of some review. Some have accrual formulas where if you work for every 30 hours or 40 hours worked in a week, you earn or you accrue 1 hour of paid leave. Depends on the state. So again, we want to make sure to be checking our Department of Labor websites or state websites for this information. And we can help align your policy with these laws to avoid costly wage and hour claims before they even happen. A lot of time, people get confused because FMLA is something that is an unpaid job protected leave and now states, so there's no compensation tied to that. But now states are offering job protected paid leave, and how do these different things kind of overlap? In some states, like in California, you actually have what is referred to as pregnancy disability leave, which can start ahead of the child's birth, but then you also have bonding time available afterwards. So it's really important to understand the nuance between each state. Now, why does this matter from a cultural perspective, right? Compliance is just paperwork, things you have to check the box on in order to avoid getting in trouble. Well, that's not necessarily true. That is like the baseline, but because compliance is that baseline for psychological safety, when you have clear pay bands, a transparent paid leave policy, you're removing any sort of perception of favoritism within the organization. Employees don't have to wonder if they're being treated fairly because they can see it in the documentation. They understand the standard, what's expected of them, and how they are going to be supported by your company. So you're moving from handshake deals to a culture built on trust and equity. And in terms of operations, compliance shouldn't slow you down. It should speed you up by automating the tracking of I-9s and leave accruals with the use of the right HR technology. We remove the manual burden from your managers if you have a team working with you, or if it's just you, we make it easier on yourself. When defense is automated, you can stop playing detective and start focusing on your high-level strategy. This is how you scale without admin debt kind of dragging you under. Let's recap. Compliance isn't a burden. It's the shield that protects your growth. By securing these 4 tripwires that we've talked about today, you're building a foundation that allows your culture and operations to thrive. If you want to get a read on where your compliance practices are opening you up to risk, DM us on Instagram, Audit. Follow us at Algo Más HR, ALGOMASHR. Ahora, like, share, and subscribe for more ways to scale your business safely. And join us next week for day 4 of the HR Reboot series, where we talk about coaching and one-on-one meetings and the place that they have within your rhythms.